Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We got Browns. We have some NFL, some sad NFL news to report to you besides some Browns news, and we'll get to all that. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Which NFL Hall of Famer's daughter played for the Bikini Basketball Association? I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Getting down to some Browns news, the wait for the Browns' 2020 schedule for the season will end on Thursday when the NFL unveils the full slates of all 32 teams. NFL Network will have a 3-hour show, Schedule Release 20, breaking down the full slate of games for all 32 teams. This Thursday starting at 8 p.m. On top of its usual games against AFC North rivals Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore, Cleveland is set to host the Colts and Texans from the AFC South, the Eagles and Redskins from the NFC East, and the Raiders from the AFC West. The Browns were paired up with the Raiders they were also host and the Browns were paired up with the Raiders because both teams finished in third place in their respective division. Cleveland will hit the road for games against the Jaguars and Titans from the AFC South, the Cowboys and Giants from the NFC South, and the third-place Jets from the AFC East. That means Cleveland will play twice at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And that will all happen on Thursday when the schedule is released. So hopefully, I feel that the Browns need to win the season opener and start out undefeated at 1-0 and end their skid of opening day losses. And they also need to win the home opener and actually start out 2-0. So hopefully we will find out the schedule. We will find out Thursday, and I will bring you the full NFL schedule on my podcast on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. And we will get to some NFL. We have some NFL news to report, but before we do that, normally I do the reveal of the trivia question halfway through the podcast, but we are already 3 minutes into the podcast, so I'm going to reveal the trivia question now because I've got some sad NFL news to report. Which NFL Hall of Famer's daughter played for the Bikini Basketball Association? And if you said Neon Deion Sanders, you are correct. Deion Primetime Sanders' daughter, Deandra Sanders had a brief stint with the Bikini Basketball Association in 2013. I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now turning to NFL news, the NFL all-time winningest head coach and Hall of Fame head coach Don Shula has passed away at the age of 90. Don Shula coached 33 seasons in the NFL, and he had 2 losing teams. 2 losing teams, yes. That's just one remarkable feat from Shula, whose 347 wins are a record for an NFL coach. Shula, the NFL coach of only one perfect team in history, died Monday, which is today, and he was 90 years old. The Miami Dolphins organization / franchise issued a statement on Coach Don Shula this morning. Don Shula was the patriarch of the Miami Dolphins for 50 years. He brought the winning edge to our franchise and put the Dolphins and the city of Miami in the national sports scene. Our deepest thoughts and prayers go out to Mary Ann, Mary Ann, which is his wife, and along with his children, Dave, Donna, Sharon, and Mike. And my thoughts and prayers go out to his wife and his family throughout this difficult time. So, and my prayers do as well. But yes, and picking one Shula accomplishment over another is hard to do. But it's probably safe to start, and this is the one that I felt was the most appropriate one to start with his 72 Dolphins. The 72 Dolphins finished that season with a perfect record of 17-0, the only undefeated and untitled NFL champion in the league's history. It took 35 years more before the second undefeated regular season in the Super Bowl era, when the 2007 New England Patriots did it. The 72 Dolphins are the only team to have a perfect 17-0 season, as you know. And they were next in the Super Bowl in 1984 when second-year quarterback Dan Marino set a record of 5,804 yards. But Dan Marino had never won a Super Bowl with the Dolphins, and Shula retired from the NFL in '95, and that is when he got his 300th career coaching win. And he was a consistent winner. He always focused on winning when he coached in the NFL, and he really he emphasized winning, and he really was a very focused head coach and one of the best in the league, and he will be missed, Don Shula, and he really was one of the most elite head coach. I'm going to say elite as well, because him being one of the only coach to have an undefeated season with a franchise in 72 with the Dolphins is just remarkable, and it is will be unforgettable, will never be forgotten as well. And I just feel that this time is to really it's to pay tribute to Don, because he really for 50 years was a patriarch to the Miami Dolphins organization, and he had teams that struggled over the years, but it was just time for him to retire in '95. And when he got his 300th career coaching win, Don was just so happy, and his players gave him a Gatorade bath, and he just went off the field smiling. And and before that, though, he was a player. He played with the Browns and also the Washington Redskins before he started coaching in the NFL with, of course, as you know, the Miami Dolphins. And that was and he was a defensive back for both teams. He was one of the best at as well. And I just really he also donated to United Way a lot as well. And he was one of the winningest head coaches. He just was a consistent winner, and he just was a consistent head coach as well. And he just really was one of the best. And I just really felt that this tribute was very appropriate. He just passed away very peacefully this morning in his home, and I think it might have been a heart attack. We're not sure, but it was very peacefully, and he was 90 years old. And our thoughts and prayers, as I've said, go out to the Shula family during this difficult time, and that includes myself. My thoughts and prayers go out to him. And I just really wanted to just take this podcast to pay tribute to Don Shula, and just really just say that he was one of the best head coaches in the NFL, and he will, as I said, he will definitely be missed by the NFL and everybody throughout the U.S., throughout the country, across the country. And that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back with another podcast either tomorrow, Wednesday, and definitely on Thursday, but either tomorrow or Wednesday. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.